Alright, so I think what we're going to do, this is the plan of attack. I know this car is supposed to run. And I know it cranks because I put battery in it just to see if it crank. So I got a battery right there. But I know the water pump's no good, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a different route. It looks like somebody's been messing with it. They've got this hose going into the inlet of the carburetor here, and that's the outlet for the fuel pump. So I don't know what's going on here, but it's going to get a new fuel pump. It's going to get all these new lines here. I just cut that off. I don't know if that goes inside the car or what they were doing. And then all this goes up the carburetor. There's the fuel filter. I'll go ahead and change that out and blow out the tank. See if it will blow out. And I think I'm just going to do a will it start by the fact that we're just going to make it run. I mean, we're going to actually go through and do all the stuff that it needs to be done just to drive it. So I'm not just going to pour gas in a carburetor and fire it because I know it'll start because it started 20 years ago. But I'm going to put cap rotor, wires, points, condenser, coil. You know, I'm not even going to worry about all that. I'm just going to bypass everything. Just change it all out. Look at the oil. Check this out. Look at that stuff. It is absolutely clean. Who knows why, but it is. Of course, it's got a Fram on it. You can look at one of my older videos. Show you why I wouldn't use Fram. I'll probably put a Wix on it if I'm going to do anything. Here's your radiator hoses. You can see that one right there. It's pretty well perished, so if I put pressure on that, it's just going to blow it out. And it's got those spring clamps on it, which was kind of a thing. See, you think all this stuff is new, but they've been using this stuff for a long time. I'll shorten up that positive cable, I think. Take about 3 feet out of that. And here's another weird thing too, is they put the ground, I can't see that being factory. That needs to go over here, maybe on this stud or somewhere, but it needs to go somewhere else besides on the fender. Because in a sense all it's really doing is it's going from the battery over to the fender, and then down inside there, if you can see, there's the body ground to the starter. I don't think that's nearly enough to do, and look at how it's kind of fraying. So I imagine it's had too much power going through that area right there. That's my suspect. I cranked it with the engine, or a new battery. It cranked okay, but I put a jumper pack on it without the battery and ran the jumper pack to the ground of the engine down here on the motor mount, and it cranked a whole lot faster. So it's got a problem back there with that high resistance. It's following along with Kirchhoff's law about putting 12 volts in the end of a wire. It should have 12 volts coming out the end with a load on it, and if it doesn't, Kirchhoff's law tells you that's a voltage drop. Anyway, so I've done most of the cleaning under the hood. It was pretty nasty. I'll probably shoot a picture up here, or I might just stick it in there in the frame somewhere. And I'm going to pull the radiator and stick the water pump in there they've had in the front seat for 20 years and go from there. Alright, so now we're underneath the car. And well, you can see we definitely need some work here. Looks like we got axle seals leaking. We got a differential housing leaking, which is kind of funny. I'll have to look and see what that takes to fix. And yeah, this thing's got original miles. This is going to be our fuel line here that we're going to have to figure out something to do here. I don't know if I can set you guys up in a tripod to see up that far. I can try it. Let's see if I put you like this. Right there, maybe. Well, let's just have a look and see what we've got up in here. Now, before I do this, they did tell me that they had drained the gas in here. That may be true, but I don't know. We'll see if we get a face full here in a second. Yeah, not too bad. It's not as nasty as I thought. I'm going to blow this back toward the engine because that one's open. Okay, that blows good there. Yeah, see, there's a little bit. Should have brought a drain pan. Got me an old-fashioned chamber pot, I think is what that is. Well, there's probably, I wouldn't say there's a gallon, but there's probably close to it. It smells like gas. It doesn't smell terrible. Alright, got that thing on there. Just a replacement. Got that thing tight. And inspected everything else. Don't see another rubber line, and they're all inspected up front, but I don't think so. It doesn't feel wimpy or flimsy up to that point there. Now we're going to have to do some work. This differential's leaking here on that. I think it's leaking right here. That's going to be a good one to fix. I think this one's leaking right there. I think this is a 7-inch 350 ratio. Yeah, I'd probably take that thing off and clean it a little bit better and have a little better chance of seeing what it says. 350. Anyway, it looks like we've got an axle seal leaking there. This side looks like it's not leaking, but like I say, I haven't taken it apart yet.